Seahawks football is back. The real thing. It's a Super Bowl 48 rematch, but both the Seahawks and Broncos look wildly different. Can the Russell Wilson and the Hawks start the season with a win? Follow along with our live blog for updates, analysis and highlights. Seattle Seahawks 24, Denver Broncos 27, 1:25 p.m., Broncos Stadium at Mile High, Denver, Colorado. TV, Fox, Radio, 710 AM, 97.3 FM, stream, Fubo TV, using our mobile app. Switch to browser, jump to, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, comments, quarter 4 11-11, Broncos 27, Seahawks 24. At first, it's ruled out. But then officials say Demaryius Thomas dragged his toes and brought down a TD as Broncos answer quickly once again. After review, the call on the field is upheld. What do you think? Through the eye of a needle at Case Keenum finds out Demaryius to put the Broncos back in the lead. It's a shootout in Denver. Baldwin appeared to hurt his right knee in the second quarter. It is his left knee that Baldwin was resting when he sat out the preseason. Baldwin was an official starter against Denver but left with a knee injury briefly in the first half before returning later in the second quarter. He did not catch a pass and was targeted just once. Bob Condotta 1500, Broncos 17, Seahawks 10. The Seahawks' offensive narrative this offseason centered on the team's insistence on establishing the run. And yet, Seattle ran the ball just 6 times in the first half, as opposed to 14 passes. Chris Carson ran 3 times for 36 yards and rookie Rashad Penny added 3 carries for 5 yards. Carson and Penny combined for 43 receiving yards as well. Mike Vorel halftime 3 quick first-half thoughts from Bob Condotta. The Seahawks are lucky to be as close as they are, down 17-10, having been outgained 297-157 in the first half. But the 2 turnovers, both on not great passes by Case Keenum, have kept Seattle in it. We'll see if Pete Carroll can come up with something to tighten up the defense in the second half. The running game has yet to really materialize, with Seattle throwing 18 passes to just 6 runs. The 6 runs are for 41 yards, but with 24 coming on Carson's remarkable hurdle run. And does Seattle again have a kicking problem? After missing 2 pats in the preseason finale, Janikowski missed 2 attempts on the field goal from 51 and 46. Recall Seattle could have not accepted the offsides and taken the kick had he made the first one. Quarter 2 1:51, Broncos 17, Seahawks 10. Russell Wilson is sacked, pushing Sebastian Janikowski's field goal attempt back to 51 yards. He's no good, but the Broncos jump off sides. Janikowski tries again from 46. Wide left again. 5:25, Broncos 17, Seahawks 10. Unsurprisingly, the Seahawks defense struggled in the first half on Sunday. Broncos scored on 3 of their first 6 drives, as Case Keenum passed for 196 yards and 2 touchdowns, and their running backs averaged 4.5 yards per carry. Wide receiver Emmanuel Sanders caught all 6 passes thrown his way for 84 yards and 1 score. The Seahawks defense also managed 0 sacks and just 1 quarterback hit to start the game. Mike Vorel 9 o'clock, Broncos 14, Seahawks 10. Seahawks linebacker Austin Calitro appeared at weak side linebacker during the first half on Sunday, subbing in for rookie Shaquem Griffin. Griffin missed a tackle and appeared out of position on several plays early on. Calitro had practiced as Bobby Wagner's backup at middle linebacker throughout the preseason. Mike Vorel 10-24, Broncos 14, Seahawks 10. Denver takes its first lead of the game, and the Seahawks defense is becoming an issue. Emmanuel Sanders goes 43 yards for this touchdown, capped with a flip into the end zone. Seattle had to settle for a field goal after getting into the red zone its last drive. Quarter 1 3 first quarter thoughts from Bob Condotta. Seattle was being outgained 154-29 until the last 2 plays, Carson's amazing hurdle run and Disley's rock'em sock'em catch and carry to the 10. The youngsters on offense have come to play. The defense is going to have its struggles. Youth is showing up on that side of the ball for sure. But then, there was Earl. The Seahawks have forced 2 punts and a turnover, Thomas's interception, on the 3 drives he played, and allowed a 75-yard TD drive on the one he didn't. 0-100, Seahawks 7, Broncos 7. The first quarter of Will Dissly's NFL career could not have gone much better. The former Washington tight end and defensive end scored the Seahawks' first touchdown of the 2018 regular season on a 15-yard catch, then shed seemingly half the Broncos' defense for a 66-yard reception near the end of the quarter. With Ed Dixon still inactive, Dissly and Nick Vannett are Seattle's top 2 tight ends. Mike Vorel 6'10", Seahawks 7, Broncos 7. Despite Pete Carroll's clamoring, officials didn't grant him a challenge and the Broncos were able to strike quickly after. QB Case Keenum hit Phillip Lindsay for 29 yards and an answer. 9:04, Seahawks 7, Broncos 0. It didn't take long for Earl Thomas to make his presence known. The Seahawks standout free safety, who held out for the entire preseason, picked off Case Keenum on Denver's second offensive drive and produced a 25-yard return. Russell Wilson threw a touchdown pass to rookie tight end Will Dissly on the next play. In 4 preseason games without Thomas, the Seattle defense failed to force a turnover. Less than 1 quarter into the regular season, Thomas already has 1. Mike Vorel 1500, Seahawks 0, Broncos 0. Rookie cornerback Trey Flowers is making his first start for the Seahawks on Sunday, and the Broncos wasted no time in testing him. On his first offensive snap, quarterback Case Keenum threw a high slant intended for wide receiver Demaryius Thomas. The ball tipped off of Thomas's hands and dropped harmlessly to the turf. Flowers jumped on Thomas's back in tight coverage. Mike Vorel